All right, this is a quick explanation of this week's social studies assignments for the week of March 30th through April 3rd, I think. So the first thing you're going to do this week for social studies is finally wrap up chapter 7, which is what we were working on before spring break. So we were on the very last thing in your workbook, so you would be doing the study guide pages that we always do, but normally you get to do them with a partner. Anyways, you know the drill. Use the word bank. If they're words for lesson 1, use it for the box for lesson 1. If they're words for lesson 2, use it for the box for lesson 2. On the third page that you need to do, we've had one like this before. It's like a Venn diagram. So on the outside would be things that are different, and on the inside is where you would find things that are similar. So if you could come up with 1 or 2 things that are similar regarding the topics that you're reading about here, that's what we'll try and do. If you need to look back on anything, chapter 7 was pages 206 through 224 in your textbook. So that's that. Then we will start chapter 8, which will be a new region. So we're going to go to the Midwest region. So you did Northeast, Southeast. Now we're going to do the Midwest. There are 12 states in the Midwest. And on page 236 in your book, there is a map of those 12 states. So you can see here's the Great Lakes, and we have states like Wisconsin, go Packers, Minnesota, our neighbors, North Dakota, South Dakota, and so on. So go ahead and take a look at that. If you'll remember, whenever we start a new region, the first chapter on that region is always divided into 3 parts. The first lesson's about geography, the second lesson would be about the early history, and then the third lesson is kind of what it's like there today, and some economy stuff. So anyways, this week you're going to do lesson 1, which will be about the geography of the Midwest. So you're going to read about things like the landforms, things about the climate, and the natural resources. So as you're reading those, keep in mind some of the similarities to what we have here in Montana. What are some of the differences? So that will be the lesson that you read. And then finally for this week, you're going to do a chart and graph, so those skill pages that we have that are only a couple pages of reading, and then you have the workbook. So your chart and graph skills, it's going to be about reading a flow chart, which is just reading about steps in a process. So you'll read those 2 pages just to get the information down, and then you'll have a workbook page. In your workbook, after you do your study guide, this would be the page 69 would be the page that you'll do for lesson 1, and then page 70 will be the page that you do after you read about how to use a flow chart. So use your textbook. Read very carefully. If you have any questions, you can email me with your parents' account. You can text me. You can call me. So enjoy your introduction to the Midwest.